My wife said, "You never do anything romantic anymore." So I spent a month planning a surprise dinner at the place we first met. When she walked in, holding another man's hand, I just smiled and told the waiter, "Cancel her reservation." Mine still stands. What happened next? No one expected. I'm 40 years old, and up until about 2 months ago, I thought I was doing everything right in my marriage. My wife Amanda and I had been together for 12 years, married for 9. We met at this little Italian restaurant called Marcello's in downtown, one of those places with checkered tablecloths and candles and wine bottles. It was corny and perfect, and we'd always talked about going back but never did. Life gets busy, you know? About 3 months ago, Amanda started making comments, little digs at first. "You used to surprise me with flowers. Remember when you'd plan actual dates? We're just roommates now." I'll admit I'd gotten comfortable. Work had been demanding, and our routine had become routine. Dinner at home, Netflix, bed, repeat. So when she said it directly one night in early September, "You never do anything romantic anymore," I decided to do something about it. I wanted to show her I still cared, that I could still be that guy she fell in love with. I started planning in secret. I called Marcello's and reserved our original table for October 20th, a Friday night. I contacted the owner, Mario, who actually remembered us from all those years ago. I arranged for him to have the same wine we drank on our first date, the same appetizer we shared. I even managed to track down the song that was playing when I first kissed her, La Vie en Rose by Edith Piaf. Mario said he'd make sure it played at exactly 8 p.m. I spent weeks on this. I bought her a new dress, burgundy, her favorite color, and left it on the bed with a note that morning. "Wear this tonight. Be ready at 7:30. Trust me." I thought I was being romantic as hell. That day, I left work early to get ready. I put on the suit she always said she loved. I was nervous, excited even. I felt like I was 28 again, planning our first real date. At 7:15, I went to find Amanda to see if she was almost ready. She wasn't in the bedroom. Her car was gone. The dress was still on the bed, untouched. I called her. It went to voicemail. I texted, "Where are you? We have plans tonight." 20 minutes later, she texted back, "Something came up with work. Going to be late. Don't wait up." My heart sank, but I told myself not to panic. I texted Mario, told him we might be a few minutes late. He said no problem, he'd hold the table. I decided to go ahead to the restaurant. Maybe she'd meet me there once she was done with whatever work thing had come up. Maybe she'd forgotten about the note. I'd surprise her anyway. I got to Marcello's at 8:05. Mario greeted me with a huge smile and led me to our table, the same corner booth where we'd sat 12 years ago. The candle was lit. The wine was already poured. Everything was perfect, except Amanda wasn't there. I sat down and sent her another text. "I'm at Marcello's, the place where we met. I planned a surprise for us. Please come." No response. I waited. Mario brought the appetizer, bruschetta, just like our first date. I picked at it, checking my phone every 30 seconds. At 8:30, the door opened, and Amanda walked in, with another man. They were holding hands. I watched them for a moment, frozen. She was laughing at something he said. He was tall, probably late 30s, wearing an expensive-looking blazer. They looked comfortable together. Natural. Amanda didn't see me at first. They were waiting to be seated near the front. But I saw everything. The way she touched his arm. The way he leaned in close to whisper something. Mario saw them too. He glanced at me, his expression a mix of confusion and pity. I shook my head slightly, a silent, "Don't say anything." Then Amanda's eyes swept the restaurant and she saw me. Her face went completely white. For a second, nobody moved. Then I did something I didn't plan. I smiled. Not a sad smile or a bitter one. A genuine, calm smile. I raised my wine glass slightly, like I was toasting them. Then I caught the eye of our waiter, a young guy named Danny, who'd been hovering nearby nervously. "Danny," I said, loud enough for Amanda to hear, "cancel her reservation." Mine still stands. The restaurant went quiet. Not completely silent, but that kind of quiet where you know people are pretending not to listen but absolutely are. Amanda let go of the man's hand. She said something to him I couldn't hear, then started walking toward my table. The man stayed near the entrance, looking confused. She reached the table. "What are you doing here?" "What am I doing here?" I kept my voice level. "I'm having dinner at the place where we first met." "The place I've been planning to bring you for a month. The surprise I've been working on since you said I never do anything romantic anymore." Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. I didn't know. Clearly, I took a sip of wine. "Who's your friend?" That's Derek. Let me guess, from work?" She didn't answer. "How long?" I asked. "What? How long have you been seeing him?" She looked back at Derek, who was still standing awkwardly by the entrance. Other diners were definitely watching now. "Can we not do this here?" "Why not? You brought him here, to our place." I set down my glass. "How long, Amanda?" 3 months, she whispered. 3 months. The exact amount of time she'd been complaining about me not being romantic. I laughed. Actually laughed. "So when you said I never do anything romantic anymore, you were already sleeping with him. Please, can we go outside and talk?" "No." I looked at Danny. "Can you bring me the osso buco?" "And another glass of this wine." Danny nodded and practically ran to the kitchen. Amanda stood there, tears starting to form. "You're really going to just eat dinner?" "I made a reservation. Spent a month planning this. I'm not letting your affair ruin my night." I gestured to the empty seat across from me. "You're welcome to join me, but something tells me Derek might have an opinion about that. You're being cruel." "I'm being cruel?" I leaned forward. "I bought you a dress, Amanda. I left it on the bed with a note. I planned every detail of tonight to show you I still love you. And you're here with him." She was crying now. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for you to find out like this." "How did you mean for me to find out?" She didn't have an answer for that. Derek started walking toward us. "Great. Everything okay here?" he asked, putting a hand on Amanda's shoulder. I looked at him. "Derek, right? Did you know she's married?" His hand dropped. "What? Oh, she didn't mention that?" "Yeah, we've been married for 9 years, together for 12. Derek looked at Amanda. "You said you were separated." "We are," she said quickly. "We basically are." "News to me," I said. "I was at home getting ready for our anniversary surprise 3 hours ago." Derek stepped back. "Are you kidding me right now?" "I was going to tell you," Amanda started. "When?" Derek's voice was rising. "We've been talking about me meeting your family next month." This was getting better by the second. Update 1: Derek left first, just turned around and walked out, leaving Amanda standing at my table crying. Some of the other diners had stopped, even pretending not to watch. Mario was behind the bar looking like he wanted to sink into the floor. Amanda slid into the booth across from me. "Please, let me explain." "Go ahead." She wiped her eyes. "You stopped trying. You stopped seeing me. I felt invisible. So you started an affair. I felt alone. You were always working or tired or distracted. When's the last time you asked me about my day? Really asked, not just said, 'How was work?' while scrolling your phone?" She wasn't entirely wrong about that part, which stung. "When did it start?" I asked. "July. We met at a work conference. He was attentive. He listened. We started texting, then meeting for coffee. It just happened." "Things like that don't just happen. You made choices." "I know." More tears. I know I did. But you made choices too. You chose work over me. You chose everything else over me. Danny brought my osso buco. The timing was almost comical. He set it down and disappeared immediately. So this, I gestured around the restaurant, this was all for nothing? No. No, if I had known, you would have what? Cancelled your date with Derek? Come here with me and pretended everything was fine? She didn't answer. I cut into the osso buco. It smelled amazing. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to go home tonight, to your mother's or a hotel or Derek's place, I don't care. But not our house. Tomorrow, I'm changing the locks. On Monday, I'm calling a lawyer. Don't do this. We can fix this. Fix it? Amanda, you've been lying to me for 3 months. You let me plan this whole thing while you were with someone else. You wore that sad expression every time you said I wasn't romantic enough, knowing damn well you were the reason you stopped caring. That's not fair. Fair? I put down my fork. What's not fair is me coming home every night to a wife who was already checked out. What's not fair is you making me feel like a failure of a husband when you were the one betraying our marriage. A woman at a nearby table gave me a subtle thumbs up. I almost laughed. Amanda was really crying now. I love you. I still love you. No, you don't. If you loved me, you would have talked to me, gone to counseling, done literally anything except fuck someone else. She flinched. Go home and pack a bag, I said. You can get the rest of your stuff next week when I'm not there. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore. I took another bite. You should go before Mario asks you to leave. He's been looking over here like he's about to. She sat there for another minute, maybe hoping I'd change my mind. When I didn't look up from my food, she finally stood. I never meant to hurt you, she said quietly. But you did. On purpose. For 3 months. She walked out. I sat there alone at the table meant for 2, eating the dinner I'd planned for us, and something weird happened. I felt relieved. Not happy, not sad, just relieved. Like I'd been carrying something heavy and finally set it down. Mario came over after a few minutes. I'm so sorry, my friend. Tonight was supposed to be special. It is, I said, just not the way I planned. He poured me another glass of wine. This one's on the house. Update 2. I went home around 10 p.m. Amanda's car was in the driveway, but she wasn't there when I walked in. The dress I'd bought her was still on the bed. I picked it up, looked at the price tag still attached, and threw it in the trash. Then I did what any reasonable person would do. I went through everything. Her laptop was in the home office. She'd left it open, still logged into her email. I know, invasion of privacy. But she'd been invading our marriage for 3 months, so I figured we were even. The emails with Derek went back to July 18th. The first one was innocent enough. Great meeting you at the conference. Here's that article I mentioned. By July 25th, they were sending heart emojis. By August, they were planning weekend trips together. But here's the kicker. There were emails to her sister too. In one from September, Amanda wrote, I think I'm going to leave him. Derek makes me feel alive again. I just need to figure out the timing. The timing. She was planning her exit strategy while I was planning a romantic surprise. There were also emails about money. She'd opened a separate bank account in August and had been transferring small amounts from our joint account. $200 here, $300 there. Not enough for me to notice immediately, but it added up to about $4,000. I took screenshots of everything and emailed them to myself. Then I called my brother, Jack. He's a divorce attorney in Chicago, but I figured he'd at least point me in the right direction locally. It's 10:30 at night, he answered. Someone better be dead. My marriage is. I told him everything. He listened without interrupting, which is rare for Jack. Jesus, he said when I finished. You okay? I will be. Good. Here's what you do. Tomorrow morning, go to the bank and move half of everything in your joint accounts into a new account in your name only. Document everything she took. Print those emails. Get a good local attorney. I'll send you 3 names. File first, file fast. Can I kick her out of the house? Legally? No, not immediately. But if she's already staying elsewhere, don't let her back in. Change the locks like you said. If she shows up, you can claim you feared for your safety, given the emotional volatility. I didn't fear for my safety. You did now. Trust me on this. We talked for another hour about strategy, finances, what to expect. Jack's good at what he does, and by the time we hung up, I had a plan. Amanda came home around midnight. I heard her car, then her key in the door. She walked into the bedroom where I was sitting on the bed, fully dressed. We need to talk, she said. We really don't. I ended it with Derek. Right now. I called him and told him it's over. Congratulations. I'm serious. I want to fix this. I want to fix us. I stood up. There is no us. There hasn't been for 3 months. Please. I saw the emails, Amanda. Her face went pale again. What? Your laptop was open. I saw everything. Derek, your sister, the bank account, all of it. You went through my personal... Don't. I held up a hand. Don't you dare make this about privacy. You plan to leave me. You've been stealing money from our joint account. You told your sister you were just figuring out the timing. She sat down on the bed like her legs gave out. I can explain. I don't want your explanations. I want you gone. This is my house, too. Actually, it's mostly mine. I put down the down payment before we got married, and I've paid 70% of the mortgage since. My attorney assures me that's going to matter. Your attorney? Called him an hour ago. I'm filing for divorce Monday morning. She started crying again. I was getting real tired of the crying. You can't do this. We can go to counseling. You should have thought about counseling before you started sleeping with Derek. Now you can either leave voluntarily tonight or I can make this a lot messier than it needs to be. Where am I supposed to go? Your sister's. A hotel. Derek's place. Oh wait, you ended it with him. I grabbed a duffel bag from the closet and threw it at her. Pack enough for a week. You can arrange to get the rest later. She just sat there. Amanda, pack. Now. It took her 40 minutes to pack. She kept trying to talk to me, apologize, negotiate. I ignored all of it and spent the time looking up locksmiths who did emergency calls. When she finally left, I changed all the passwords on our streaming accounts, our Wi-Fi, everything. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Absolutely. Then I found a 24-hour locksmith who could come out for an extra $200, worth every penny. By 3 a.m., I was alone in my house with new locks, sleeping in the guest room because the bed we'd shared felt wrong now. Update 3. Monday morning, I took a personal day from work and went to see one of the attorneys Jack had recommended, a woman named Patricia Chen, who had a reputation for being ruthless but fair. I brought her everything, the emails, the bank statements, documentation of Amanda's transfers, photos from Friday night at Marcello's that Mario had been kind enough to text me. Apparently someone at the restaurant had taken pictures of the whole scene and they'd made their way to him. Patricia looked through everything with the kind of calm efficiency that made me trust her immediately. This is good, she said. Actually, this is very good for your case. The affair, the financial hiding, the documented deception, it all helps. How long does this take? Depends. If she contests it, could be months. If she's smart and takes a fair settlement, could be done in 6 weeks. What's fair? You keep the house. You split the retirement accounts 50-50. Joint accounts get split minus what she already took. She gets her car, personal belongings, and that's about it. No alimony because of the affair and because it's a relatively short marriage with no kids. She'll fight for more. Let her try. We have evidence of infidelity and financial deception. Most judges don't look kindly on that. I signed the retainer agreement right there. Patricia filed the papers that afternoon. Per state law, Amanda had to be officially served, which happened on Tuesday morning at her sister's house. I know because her sister called me screaming about it. "How could you do this to her?" Rachel yelled. "She made a mistake." "A 3-month mistake where she planned to leave me and stole $4,000? She didn't steal. She transferred money from our joint account into a secret account without telling me. That's stealing." "You're destroying her." "No, Rachel. She destroyed our marriage. I'm just making it legal." She hung up on me. Wednesday, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Derek. "Is this Amanda's husband?" he asked. "Ex-husband, almost. Who's this?" "Derek Mitchell. We met briefly on Friday." "Right, at the restaurant, while you were on a date with my wife." "Yeah." He sounded uncomfortable. "Look, I didn't know she was married. She told me she was separated, basically divorced, just hadn't filed papers yet. Classic line. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I wanted you to know I'm not that guy. I don't date married women. When I found out the truth, I ended it immediately." "Good for you." "I also wanted you to know, she's been calling me nonstop since Friday, showing up at my office, saying you forced her into the affair by being a bad husband." I laughed. "Of course she is." "I just thought you should know what she's saying." "I appreciate the heads up." "For what it's worth," Derek said, "what she did to you was messed up. The whole surprise dinner thing? That was actually really romantic. She's an idiot." "Thanks, man." After we hung up, I actually felt a little bad for Derek. He seemed like a decent guy who got caught up in Amanda's mess. Thursday, Amanda herself called. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. "I can't believe you served me," she said. No hello, no preamble. "What did you think would happen?" "I thought we'd talk. I thought you'd at least give me a chance to..." "To what? Lie some more?" "Amanda, you had 3 months to talk to me. You chose to sleep with Derek instead." "I made a mistake." "You made a series of deliberate choices over 3 months. That's not a mistake, that's a pattern. The attorney you got is trying to take everything from me. You're getting exactly what you're entitled to. Half of what we built together, minus what you already took and nothing more. No house, no alimony, nothing beyond what's fair. The house is mine too. I put down the down payment with money I had before we met. I've paid most of the mortgage. Legally and morally, it's more mine than yours. I have nowhere to go. You have your sister. You have friends. You have Derek. Oh wait, he dumped you too, didn't he? Low blow? Yeah. Did I care? Not really." "You've changed," she said. "You're not the man I married." "You're right. The man you married would have let you walk all over him, would have believed your apologies and taken you back. That man died on Friday night when I watched you walk into our restaurant holding another man's hand." She hung up. Update 4. The divorce moved faster than I expected. Amanda's attorney tried to fight for the house, for alimony, for a bigger share of everything. Patricia shot it all down with the evidence we had. In late November, we went to mediation. I saw Amanda for the first time since I'd kicked her out. She looked terrible, tired, thinner, like she hadn't been sleeping. Part of me felt bad. Most of me didn't. The mediator laid out the proposal. I keep the house and my retirement account. Amanda gets her retirement account, her car, $12,000 from our joint savings, half of what was left after her transfers, and her personal belongings. No alimony, no further financial connection. "This is ridiculous," Amanda's attorney said. "She's entitled to nothing more than what's being offered," Patricia interrupted. "Your client committed adultery, hid financial assets, and planned to abandon the marriage. We have documented evidence. If this goes to trial, she'll get less than this, plus legal fees she can't afford." Amanda looked at me. "Is this really what you want?" To punish me forever? I don't want to punish you. I want to be done with you. She signed the papers. The divorce was finalized on December 18th, 2 days before what would have been our 10th anniversary. Final update. It's been 3 months since everything happened. I'm sitting in my house legally and completely now. And I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. I heard through mutual friends that Amanda's living with her sister, still teaching yoga part-time, struggling financially. Derek blocked her on everything after she showed up at his apartment drunk one night. She's apparently telling people I emotionally abused her and forced her into Derek's arms. I don't care what she tells people. The people who matter know the truth. Marcello's called me last week. Mario wanted to know if I'd ever come back. I told him maybe, but not for a while. The place still hurts a little. Work's been good. I got a promotion in January, ironically because I've been focusing more on my career since the divorce. Turns out when you're not worried about a failing marriage, you have a lot more mental energy. I've been on a few dates, nothing serious yet, but I'm not rushing. I'm learning to be alone without being lonely, which is harder than it sounds. Someone at work asked me last week if I regretted planning that whole romantic dinner, given how it turned out. I thought about it for a minute. No, I said, because it showed me exactly who she was. If I hadn't done it, I might have wasted years trying to save something that was already dead. The guy nodded. That's a healthy way to look at it. Maybe it is. Or maybe I'm just good at justifying things now. Either way, I'm 40 years old, divorced, and somehow more hopeful about the future than I was when I was married. Life's funny that way. Edit. A lot of people have been asking what happened to the dress I bought her. I donated it to a women's shelter. Figured someone should get use out of it. Edit 2. Yes, I kept all the screenshots. No, I'm not sharing them publicly. But yes, I still have them in case she tries anything legal down the road.